when we talk about pay, it really does get a little sticky. And so I want to move from pay to time. And why is because I believe there's a sense in which time is one of the things that we waste the most. And if you think about the 21st century, we do waste it a lot, don't we? We spend a lot of time on the internet, Facebook. We spend a lot of time doing things we probably should not be doing, it's not bad to do, but we just spend a lot of time wasting other time when we could be productive in our environment. And that's the same way as at work as well. Our time and how we devote it to our employer is essential that we are being good stewards of our time. Now, we see this all the time. If they are paying you hourly, that's one thing. Now, if they're paying you salary too, they do expect you to put in a decent week's worth of work. And that means you're not sliding those kinds of things. You know, when Adam and Eve were in the garden, they worked 6 days, and that was essential to work 6 days and to give a good measure of work those 6 days, not to be lazy with your time and not to waste your time. However, God not only gave Adam and Eve work, he gave them rest. That is why at Geneva on Sunday we take time off and we rest, because it is important for all of us to rest. God said he designed 6 days for man and woman to work, and on the seventh day to rest. Now, there's always going to be some things. I think traditionally and historically in theology, we've said that the acts of necessity and acts of mercy we could do on our days of rest. Acts of necessity being you've got to feed yourself, right? Or if you have a kid, changing the diapers. I mean, can't get away from that, right? Those are acts of necessity. And acts of mercy would be a doctor or a police officer, a doctor who has to go in and he has to care for patients, because if not, patients will die. So acts of mercy and necessity, but generally speaking, we should be working towards having 6 days of timely work and 1 day of rest. Now, how does that fit into today's time? God has designed us to work and to worship him through our work, that we come and we work for the glory of God. Now, worship in small w, not big W, like a worship service of the uniting of the church. But we come and worship God. We unite together to do work for the glory of God. And on Sunday is the day we should rest. And that just doesn't mean sleep on Sunday afternoon. That means we come to worship the risen Lord and Savior, who has allowed us to work and has allowed us to do great things for his glory and honor and praise. Thank you, and that's this week's Faith Integration lesson.